Hello, hello, hello. My name is Piscop, the author of PKs Rebalancing Mod, and I figure that while I don't plan to mod and be heavily involved, I do want to take a break from all of the stuff I do in my free time, which is mostly studying, cleaning, whatever. So I decided I'd do a playthrough and showcase the mod while I'm here. I have come back after a few months of not, and I decided that I would at least bug fix it. So this is actually a showcase of the bug fixing that I just did. The mod is going to add a bunch of new monsters, vehicles, buildings. It's actually quite a bit, and I'm going to be playing with a mostly vanilla world here. Season length 14, start at midnight. 1.0 monster spawns as opposed to 1.5, so that I can see what people are talking about when they say there's too many zombies or it's too hard, this, that, the other thing. I'm used to seeing a lot more, guys. And I'm going to do 8 city size and 4 city spacing. I prefer 9 and 5, but unfortunately MapGen does not seem to want to cooperate with that. It'll gen vast areas of nothing. Now, what you'll notice here is that I've added this new profession, which is basically a guy from 2018. This is more or less based on stuff that I walk around with every day. Credit cards and bananas and newspapers and protein flasks and a couple exceptions, but this is pretty good representation, I think, of what a character like me would reflect in this game. I do have a nasty temper and bad knees, that's for sure. One thing I wanted to point out is that this cash card seems to have a different value every time you click on it, and it's completely randomly assigned, just like you'd find it in the wild with zombies. So you could have 10 cents on it, you could have, I've seen upwards of $1,000 on it. Now the other thing is, I did add a dive knife. I took away its ability to open windows though, because it's a dive knife. I don't know if anyone's ever seen a dive knife, but it's really not all that good at cracking open, sturdy 10-pound doors. Now, I have added one item to the game. It's going to be a turtleneck, and a turtleneck is essentially a sweatshirt that happens to also cover the mouth. It is better in almost every way than either the sweatshirt or the sweater, but that's not the point. It's a fun item that I do love wearing in real life, so I'm wearing it here. I'll leave it to the experts. Do not attempt to deal with the invaders. Technology, military action, loud gunfire will attract more enemies. That is true. I mean, they weren't lying about that. They're just... Oh, crubbers. Turn it off. Oh. Turn it off. There you go, kid. I wanted to assign a number to it. Whoops. Anyway, let's talk to this guy before I do anything else. Would you like to travel with me? Because I'm awesome. No, I don't think you are. Would you like to trade items with me? Because I'm still awesome anyway. Yeah. Most of the items here I do not want. I do want that protein powder though. If I have the space for it, I'd love it. I can give you a cash card. Look at that. Everyone wins. He gets money, I get stuff. Okay, second. Where am I? What are we doing here? I would definitely want to get to that if I can. I almost absolutely want to get there. This is, I'm a very claustrophobic player when I first start with my characters because it's dark, I can't see, I'm underpowered as everything. I'm used to playing with a hobo, and the problem with the hobo is he has no warmth, he has no storage, he's addicted to alcohol. The alcohol's very heavy. Getting out of the city is the primary goal for this guy. He's not quite as bad off as, say, the hobo, but he has no storage. He might be warm enough in most cases, and he's certainly not going to die of, like, freezing. But, I mean, look at this character. He's very ill-equipped for the job ahead of him. So, I think we're going to hit the mill center up, if we can. Public service announcement. Acid rain. That might just be a leftover from the game's earlier career here, but in my mod, it's very real. It does happen. I've actually turned it down a little as a result of people just getting caught out in the middle of the wilderness in acid rain. It's a big mess. Okay, cell phone, yes. We only need one. Sneakers, I have a pair of sneakers. First aid book. Now, I might have this knife, but I still want to smash up this fridge so I can steal its very delicious, very helpful rubber hose. And if I could, I wanted to get the scrap metal. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. I also am not able to carry all the stuff I have, so I'm going to eat my banana, pick up my hose. No, not yet. Drop my string, then pick up my hose. The hammer's a good thing, but I don't have the space for it. A real shame, you guys. Okay, now, this character might be... I don't actually need the pipe. This character might be a lot better off than a hobo as far as warmth and everything, but he's by no means going to have an easy time of this. Crubbers, of course. So, I'm deathly afraid of finding some zombies somewhere. And rightfully so. This character has a dive knife, which I have taken off the prying, the ability to pry open 10-pound solid oak doors, and given it instead the ability to rapidly attack, which, you tell me if you think that's a fair trade-off. I think it's fine. I also think I don't like them following me. Like gloves. We can actually do that. Okay, so as this character here with no storage capacity, my first priority is going to inevitably be to find something that I can store items in. Anything, guys, anything. Muffler, blankets. I might just have to make a makeshift knapsack. In fact, I think I will. Activate my cell phone, turn on this, and we're going to be making first a rioter mask. Nope. And second, I don't have pants. I do, so... Oh, I don't have a string, do I? Okay. Okay. It's going to make me a very, very cold gentleman, but... that's okay, because I'm a cold gentleman who has enough stuff on his personage. I don't need the solder. I do want that. Alpha Male Quarterly, just good for getting your survival up to 1. In the case that you don't have any forest around you, I plan to, but people plan a lot of things, and it's not like I can't just drop whatever I have on me. Oh, another alpha male. They were very alpha in this place. Look at this. Marbles. That's good stuff. Okay, so now that I have more storage space, I'm going to take out my knife. It's going to be a much better weapon for me anyway. Pharmacies, yep. Cash card. I don't feel the need to smash that because I don't really care what's in there. I do want to get back here though. This is where they store all the drugs. Gotta be honest, guys, making my own mod like I did, and you know, having played the game for quite a while, I don't think I was doing it when Wales was the only one developing, seriously developing, but I've absolutely been playing since probably just before 0.C, and I mean, having played the same same style starts, you know, in the city, surrounded by tons and tons of zombies, I mean, I learned to recognize things like pharmacies in the middle of the dark. I'll take that. I will... What else do I need? Yep, I want that forest. Honey. Fur hat, that's good stuff. It's actually probably too powerful. Boy, you could actually probably play a completely Arctic world, and you can change the settings on just how warm or cold it will get on a grand scale, because the temperature it can it loops, and it's by no means stuck. So the first day of spring by no means has to be cold. In fact, I've seen it just completely normal. You could walk outside in a t-shirt kind of weather in the game. So being able to change the weather on a grand scale is nice, but you really can't micro-tune the weather unless you want to start cheating every time something you don't want shows up. I don't want to actually control the vehicle. I want to see what's in there. Nothing, I guess. Okay, we're gonna do a loop-de-loop. Kind of throw the zombies off so they can start playing with their new toy car there. Get away from me. Okay, we're doing pretty good so far, and I absolutely do advocate for running from zombies if you're gonna do something like start in the middle of the night and, you know, have no real way of fighting. I mean, sure, I can fight, but this character is not a fighty character. It's... For a hat, we want to make space for my transistor book. Good. We actually have nothing in the way of storage still. Sports jersey, nano skirt. Neither helped me. Okay, that's not the fridge. Not a big deal. Gonna go out the back. Gonna mark the area we've already looked. I don't plan to stick around this area. What I would like to do is find a vehicle somewhere. I'm probably actually going to make my way up here after. Although I could go down here to the pawn shop. Pawn shop's pretty tempting. So I think I might modify what I plan to do, because as far as like pharmacies, gun shops, and it's for the birds, I can loot it if it's right there, but the pawn shop could actually have a good weapon, and it's got a garage next door. I'm under no illusions that I'll be able to get in there. But the pawn shop, I just might be able to sneak in, especially if this LMOE shelter is nice to me. And it looks nice so far. In fact, I could probably stay here all night now that I'm in. Because it's got the metal door. I mean, no zombies getting in there. They'd have to smash through the stuff, that they just don't have the capacity to do this. Okay. And again, this kind of start is made easier by the fact that I'm used to playing with more zombies. I'm used to a lot more difficulty with my starts. The alcohol, the no warmth, no storage. This character is surprisingly overpowered for a start. He's already got light, he already had matches. Permanent marker, you can give or take that. That's for the bees. It's nice to have, but it's by no means essential in any way. I mean, having the hip flask is helpful because it is storage space that you could store on you. It's a way to store alcohol, it's a way to store... You could even put powder in there. If you really felt the need, you could put gunpowder in it. That's probably one of the more powerful items he has, and this turtleneck is pretty nifty. I'm a big fan of it, even though it has no storage. Low encumbrance, high warmth, sewer rat. Fuck me. Sewer rats in the mod. Bit more dangerous than they are in the core game. What they like to do is give you inflammation, which is a minor infection. Basically a status effect like the flu. And it lasts for a certain amount of time, it'll go away, and occasionally your body will say, "Oh, it hurts." But what they also do is drain your health when they hit you. Now, even though I took off the ability for the diver knife to pry off doors and windows, it can still do something like open up a crate just by eating the crate, like you would with any crowbar in your hand. So the diver knife is still one of the more powerful items this character has access to. And, yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of it, believe it or not. Antiseptic. Let's go and just cover up that leg real quick since it's there. Okay, so we've explored that. That may be a valuable and preferable place to go back. If everything else in the world fails, I may end up coming back here. Let's see where else we can find, though. Why is he crying? Minor inflammation, right? Speed, pain rare, and cold. One thing about the mod that you don't necessarily know if you're not told about is that I increased the penalties for cold, chilly, and frostbite, and warm, and all of the warm effects to include things like more severe speed loss. There's some dex loss once it gets higher up. There's things like health loss. And you saw over here where it said hungry. Yes, you can become more hungry as your body just shivers and quakes, and you just need more calories to stay alive in the winter. It's part of an attempt to just make the world a little more immersive and punishing. And I really do hesitate to use the word punishing, but in the end, that's really what it is. It's about making things like poison last more than a minute and a half, which is what it can do in the base game. It's a laughably short effect. In my mod, it only lasts for like an hour, hour and a half maybe, which still laughable. However, it's much more functional. It really serves to hammer home the idea that you don't want to get into combat with these things, and having just come back from nerfing them, I can say I'm still fairly happy with them. Budget steel katana, do I want? I do want, because katanas are very good weapons, even if they're junky like this guy here. You could still use all of the techniques, you can still drop it when it becomes too much. I mean, it's not like you're forced to use it. So yeah, I'm happy with it, and I'd like to get out of Dodge. I saw all of that fun times. I'm not even trying to get in there. I should get into this house since I've had such good luck here. It's important to note that right now I'm still walking. I'm really not trying to push this character, and I don't have to. It's 1.0 spawn rates, for God's sake. I mean, I'm having the time of my life right now. As long as I don't run into a horde, which can happen, but you see I'm staying off the streets, I'm grabbing these sunglasses. I don't want to wear them. It's in the dark. Can I do anything else? Yeah, I can put on the towel. If I put them on, what'll happen is it'll reduce my sight a little. One thing to note though, and I don't know what it affects besides the normal stuff, I do have circular distances on. That's the bathroom, and I want to get in there, so we're going to play with them. Antibiotics! Yes! Leather jacket, double yes. No. I'll put on the jacket. I don't mind being over encumbered at this point. Antibiotics, in the core game, they're a fairly useless item. You take it to relieve infections and bites. In this one, you also do that. It removes things like the minor infections and the various sorts of goodies that zombies can give you and certain other critters. Things like being... oh crap. Things like the cysts and the brain worms and the blood whatevers. So there are various diseases that the zombies can give you. Certain zombies only. It's unfortunately not something I can give to all the zombies, but certain zombies will afflict you with like parasites and things like that, and that makes some sense. 547. I'd have to drop the fuck. So the zombies are capable of giving you certain afflictions, and you'll have to learn to deal with that, which is fine. But you know, I'm going to actually use the flu shot now. The flu shot, believe it or not, for instance, will provide you with the removal of like blood cysts, blood parasites, and I think it actually removes the minor inflammation penalty. But do I have a syringe? No, I dropped it, didn't I? I did. Okay. 540. No, I still have too much. So, if you look, I no longer have the minor inflammation penalty because I used the flu shot. It got rid of it. Now, gamma globulin shots will block the flu and minor infections and all that, and the flu shot will block the flu. But the gamma globulin shot will actually block things like cysts, worms, parasites, and stuff like that. It's just a way to make it better. So, that's something to keep in mind. Antibodies will also block all manner of goodies that zombies can give you, and other critters can too. It's not just zombies. What I've done to make it able to use the antibiotics like I want to, you have to be able to use it on a body part. If it doesn't heal, it won't let you use it on a body part. And if you don't use it on a body part, I can't give you the effect that I want. So I've made it able to heal body parts. You don't have to be infected to use it, you just have to use it. I'll showcase it right now because I don't plan to use 15 of them. But any body part that's injured, you can just apply it and it will do a little bit of healing. So, not hard to find a way to hurt yourself. Please don't try though. As you can see, frostbite. My stuff is frostbitten, I'm cold, it's terrible. But as you can see, frostbite is accounting for 20% loss in speed. That's a very significant loss. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm still running around with 2 towels and some boxer shorts on. No wonder I'm cold. In the middle of spring in New England, and let me tell you what, we had snow on April Fool's Day. It was a gorgeous morning. We went out, I went to work, I loved it. Got home, went for a walk at night in a t-shirt, and I woke up on the 2nd to go to work. And there was snow on my car. I had to dust it off. So I did, and I drove into work. And over the course of the day, all 4 or 5 inches of it melted off, and by the time I got home, it was sunny and beautiful, a little wet out. But other than that, I was able to go for a walk with, a t-shirt and a light jacket on. It was ridiculous, and you cannot believe how mad I was about that. April Fools. Spring's still not here. So, and I only live in southern New England. Anyway, enough of that. I'm going to head over here. The sewage treatment plant is more or less a waste of space. If it were up to me, it would connect via sewer line to the cities and even to some of the metro subways, which let me tell you, the only place I've ever ridden a subway is in Boston and New York. We really don't have subways under small New England towns. But it's cataclysm, and it wouldn't be fun if I told you that there were, what, maybe 3 feet high sewer pipes in my city. You could crawl around in them. I really wouldn't recommend it, though. But either way, we do have sewer treatment plants, and if you've ever had the misfortune of living close to one, they're a thing that exists. Okay. Anyway, to get back to the game. The sun comes up about 5:40 in the game. I'm going to put the sunglasses on so I can take these. Real shame, I know, but whatevs. Yes. Yes. Unlock. Yes. The sun comes up about 5:40, and you want to be out of the city by then if you can help it, or at least you want to be in a hunkered up position by 5. You want to know where you're going at the very least. And me, I mean, does it look like I'm having any difficulty finding my way around the world? This should be the last room where loot can happen. Nope. Sewers have 2 rooms with loot, and the rest of it's just crap. Am I lost? No. Good. Okay. Now, this character has a few things he's good at. He can do a little bit of speaking. I gave him a little bit of swimming because I'm tired of characters not knowing how to swim. This isn't feudal Europe. We know how to swim. I certainly do. Can you believe that 1/3 of people who join the U.S. Navy do not know how to swim when they join? They have to be taught the basics, and unfortunately, when I say basics, I mean they test to make sure that you know how to stay afloat for 60 seconds. These poor chaps are not going anywhere if they have to swim anywhere. Heaven help these kids. But they don't need people who know how to swim. They need people who know how to fix pipes and man watch stations. So, there you go. Anyway, yes, swimming, speaking, computers, first aid. Yeah, that's kind of me. Okay, so here we go. I did make defrosting, which is just warming back up, more of a pain. You can stand to be irradiated quite a bit. Things like zombie attacks can irradiate you. Things like hanging around irradiated areas can irradiate you. This is my solution to the problem with gases and other methods of radiation, leaving permanent radiation pox in the world, and they just make it impossible for players to play because something will walk by their home and all of a sudden they're catching 500 rads because they're reading a book in the middle of a radiation-pocked world. So this is my solution. I can read the alpha male book in order to gain sufficient survival skill to do whatever I want to do. However, it's so inefficient that you don't do it unless you have to. What I'm going to do until the sun comes up instead is read this nice book. No. Read this really fine book about transistors. What's a transistor? Oh, this is a headlamp. I completely blanked on that the first time. I don't particularly think they're a really good item. as far as how useful they are absolutely useful, but that doesn't make them not cheesy. Um, that is one of the items, monsters I have buffed up and expanded upon, the giant trapdoor spider. They spawn very rarely outside of cities by themselves. Very, very rarely under very special circumstances, special as I can make them. However, they far more frequently are present because there's a trap nearby. And when there's a trap nearby, there's a family of spiders nearby. And when there's a family of spiders nearby, you can bend over and kiss your happy little ass goodbye. Migo. Double Migo. Oh boy, this is going to get really nasty really quick. There's a skeleton and the spider, so if I can get them all to fight each other, things will go good. But if I can't, then we'll have a bad time. See all these dirt mounds? Now, this could theoretically be from him, but this is far more likely because it's a family of spiders moving around. They can dig, that's their flag, and he's likely on pavement, which is why he's not. Yeah, he's on the sidewalk. So that's why he's not digging right now. But all these random mounds of dirt are because they're digging, looking for prey to eat. In fact, it looks like he came up from down here. Now that I'm looking. Underneath one of the boulders should be a... not a door, I don't want to say door. Hidey hole, staircase, ramp. Hidey hole. Downward slope, there it is right there. So underneath one of these boulders, you don't have to destroy the boulder to get to it. That's where all their homes are, and in fact, if I were willing to play a I don't care if I die run, I would be more than happy to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Everything here looks good, right? If I can get to the vehicle, I can probably zoom out of this area, and that's what I'm going to want to do. Do I have anything that I can light on fire? I have guns and ammo. Another thing that I purposely did was give him marksmanship. Now, I've fired a gun before. I'm reasonably accurate. I mean, they awarded me the second highest accuracy thing. Not that that really means anything. But that doesn't mean that I'm proficient in the use of bullets. I can pass. I mean, you know what they say though, when you're really in a situation where you have to use a gun, most people don't know how to do it, which is why you need training. Migo. But yeah, truth be told, you don't know what kind of person you are until you get into that situation. Migo? No? Yes? Maybe? It's got 100% battery. That is swell. I think I might actually have to quit the game and Shit. They saw me. I do want the rollerblades, but I don't want to put them on. Crap. Shit. I'm getting out of here. Yes, mommy, help. A very accurate summation of what my my experience is about to be. Okay, good. Okay, so there's a spider pit down over here, and I want to mark that down because only so many spider pits can spawn at any given time. The number is like 8 per overmap area, or some arbitrary number, whatever. Okay, so I've managed to get away. Apparently I can see... Oh, that's my rotation. Okay, I can see how far my car is rotated. That's sweet. It's new, too, but it's sweet. Okay, so now I have a vehicle, and all is going super swell. In fact, I have a really good vehicle. The real problem with electric vehicles is last time I played, at least, they drained about as fast as you could fill them up. There was really no way to enjoy an early game electric vehicle because they just don't have the solar panels to support driving around, looting, hiding. Soldier ant. Ooh. Now I heard there was zombie ants that were added. Not zombie ants, acid ants. I assume that's Cthulhu because he has a hard-on for acid, that's for sure. That's not a bad thing. I don't want to make it sound like I'm razzing the guy, but yes, he definitely has a thing about acid. What's in here first? Chopper cables. That's actually not a bad item. That's not a bad item at all for an electric vehicle. If you ever really want a solar vehicle, best thing you can do is find a car that will start. Doesn't have to move, doesn't need wheels, it just has to be capable of starting. Attach it to the electric car after it's on, and you can go anywhere and do anything. It is just terrific. Okay, I want to keep this quick. Antiseptic powder I don't need. What do I have pain from? I'm trying to think. Is it because I'm freezing my little tush off? It might be. Anyway, I don't want to get too crazy with my organization because I am playing, and I think I'm coming at least up to the end of what I would consider a video length session. But I definitely would like to steal these. Going to take them, gonna take them, gonna wear it, gonna wear it. Yes, so right now I'm going to be looting the building, and one of the most valuable commodities to loot from a building is its sheets and strings. And since that ant is kind enough over here to do all of the fighting, and I've watched people do Let's Plays, and I think they're great guys, they do great things, but I was never able to get with pretending I was in some kind of danger when I'm very clearly not, guys. I mean, take a peek, see? I don't think I've even had to kill too much. No, I don't care. I was trying to check what my kills were because I completely forgot. I think I've had to kill a couple bad guys, but nothing serious. Yeah, so it's a lot of pain I'm in right now for whatever reason. I'm sure there's a reason if I sat down and thought about it, but I just can't for the life of me think now. More interested in looting. What are you? Lump of clay. Lump of clay is one of the really, really just generally useless items in the core game. I expanded on it just a little, and I gave it the ability to kind of soak up hard, heavy minerals such as radiation, bound, decaying objects, uranium kind of thing. It doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense from a perspective of science, but I didn't ask it to. I just want it to be something fun, something useful, and in a way, more importantly, for people to get rid of their rats if they needed to. The mod's not exactly forgiving, so putting it in was a compromise between taking out radiation in the way I was doing it and not. Okay, what are we doing here? Well, we're not stopping at this, are we? We might. I will want to run... Oh shit, Ant, I didn't notice you there. Hi. There is a very nasty, nasty Zed that I think you should see. Good. I can lose him in the building if I'm quick. Good. Of course, that means I did lose my protection until that giant ant decided he was going to spawn out of nowhere. Nope. That's a forager ant. Yes, right. The shriekers. We're going to move on. Well, he's pissed off because something was trying to eat him. And you notice how all the ants are kind of rushing towards him now, because what he does is he makes a lot of shrieking, makes a lot of noise, and ants are actually pretty blind. One of the things I did to them was make it so that they were blind, and the shriek ants serve as the signal to kind of kill everything. I don't have a container? What are you talking about? I have an electric vehicle, right? It's habitual, I'm sorry guys. I do play this a lot on habit, and I prefer early game to late game simply because late game gets really boring unless you look for trouble. Early game, trouble finds you, which is one of the great parts about the game. Well, the ants do present an opportunity, So I think it is worth my time to at least do a ring around the rosy here. Oh, I did not mention, but yes, the forager ants are actually not blind. So this gentleman here, who is going to shriek his little heart out at me. How am I doing for storage? I just want to make sure that I drop the kitty food. We're doing good. Okay. Half worms, huh? Let's drink the protein drink. Wrench is good wrench. Okay, what do we got in here? I was actually watching a couple people who swear, or at least they seem to swear by throwing items like rocks, and it worked out pretty well for them as long as they were doing one-on-one battles and stuff. Pretty good thing. I don't particularly do it myself. I actually wanted to do throwing spears like javelins and things like that, but I was never able to get it off, and by the time I was able to, it's just, why bother? So, I am playing with half item spawns, I think it is. Go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. I see what you're doing, and you cannot... Jackhammer! Ooh, hey, 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 hey. That's worth taking if damn ants weren't bothering me. Oh, well, they're even more worth taking. Sorry, guys. What else we got here? Heavy-duty cables, good stuff. Do I have the space for it? Yes. Okay, this... Please go. Thank you. Drop the welder. Wield the katana. We're gonna drop that and drop that. Those are actually tools, and one of the things I want to do is separate the tools from the rest of the chaff, I guess. Do you think I am able to go back and get this jackhammer before the world goes to hell? I want the jackhammer. Not because jackhammer's, you know, special, but because it comes in useful a lot more often than you think. All those military bunkers where things are locked behind 3 different key cards. Jackhammer's my key card, guys. Not that I have too many of them in my mod. I make a point of not letting those things kind of rule the world, because, I mean, they're so easy to loot and exploit, and it's one of the things I find myself struggling with, how to balance exploitable with fair fun. I guess it's your definition of fun, too. If you think getting your backside hammered out is fun, then you may enjoy the game. If you don't, then I don't know what to say, guys. This mod, you can do a stealthy run, no problem. I think this character is doing a pretty good job of stealth. He has a car right now, an electric car at that, which is still above 80% charge, and still completely isolated. One of the things I like to worry about is hull integrity in my vehicle. The idea is pretty simple. If a wolf can path into your car and eat you while you sleep, then it doesn't have hull integrity. But if they are forced to kind of circle the vehicle and just wait for you to wake up, can you not? I didn't see him there. I get a lot of compliments about the color of the tile set here. The terminal. And I'm just using Linux Mint, rather. I don't change it. I don't have anything to do with it, and I do not want to be over here, although I am drawn to it. There could be some decent choice loot in the first room. There's also hill drones and tank drones and chicken walkers. There's a whole mess of things you don't fathom in this area. There's actually a boss in a generator room. It is a generator, in fact. It's a giant Skynet computer that if you ever feel the need to, you can kill, and it will stop this from spawning things. I guess it would do good to explain why it spawns things, because I added it. It's basically a giant police station. There are police dogs, there are cops, there are All kinds of funsy things in here. How are we doing here? 79%. We just finally crossed that threshold, huh? I am in no way equipped to bystanders, engage in relevant treason, criminal-like activity, advised to return to prone position, keep their hands over the head until current crisis is over, and you would retrieve for debriefing. Oh shit, worm. Go away. I do want that underlay. And that's all reinforced glass. I can't break that. Okay, I gave it a shot, and I'm in no way ready to deal with whatever monster, I'll leave you to imagine it, is over there. So, I'm pretty sure that is the helicopter, the helidrone. I do not want to deal with the helidrone. Helidrone will shoot you. It's a flying tank, or turret rather. So, we're moving on. As far as what else is here, this is a very large city, which naturally makes me not want to be near it. I actually add more things outside of cities than into cities. Most of the stuff that I deal with in the cities is like reinforcing gun stores and adding new zombie types, and it's really hard to add things to the city that won't spawn and just ruin somebody's day for no reason. So I don't. Besides, I mean, you have sewers, the cities are pretty good the way they are, just the added difficulty of the extra zombies hanging around. For instance, one of the things I do besides adding new zombies is taking away the default single zombie. That's not to say I remove single zombies from spawning, that's to say that when the game chooses to spawn something, it reads off a list of all the zombies. And if it doesn't pick a zombie that it likes, for whatever reason, we don't need to get into why it won't like it, but if it picks something it doesn't like, wear it, then it will spawn a single zombie. I've actually taken that away. The game is not allowed to spawn a single zombie and say, hey look, here's one zombie. So that's why you see a lot more stragglers in core game. And I mean, in some ways that makes a lot of sense, but in other ways it really ruins an otherwise fun sneaky mission because a single zombie sees you. So what I did instead is I increased all like the ability of the zombies to do things. And what are you, giant acidic ant? Oh, there's the acidic ants. I don't know if I actually want to be around them. Are you dangerous? Can we hug? Yeah, he's okay right now. Okay, I think this is a good enough... Yeah, he's not okay anymore. I think this is a good enough place to stop. I'm going to organize all my goodies and see if I can't do a little bit of crafting, probably once I move away from this ant. Why is my pain still so high? I guess because I'm chilly? It is possible, because I do add things that add slight pains once you ratchet it up. There's several layers of cold, same way there's several layers of fire. There are actually 6 stages of fire. You only know about 3. Small, regular, and blazing. So, it is possible. It's a stepping stone kind of thing. Same thing with irradiated. The number you see here, irradiated, 3, 4, 5, or 20 million, it refers to how many times the debuff for radiation is applied, not how much radiation you have. Same thing with being poisoned or whatever. It doesn't refer to how much poison you have, it refers to how many times the debuff is applied. So that's what these numbers here are. They don't actually give you the abstract under the hood numbers. Not that you necessarily need them, but you should be aware that there are a lot more numbers than what the game is giving you. Anyway, my name is Biscop from PKs Rebalancing Mod. I'm trying to do a playthrough to kind of get people into playing it, see if I can't showcase it, and say, hey guys, it's really not as bad as they make it seem. I mean, I know I'm really used to the game, but I have a lot of fun with it, guys, and I'm sure you will too. I'm Biscop, and thanks for watching,